The Canadian government is sending out a monthly payment worth over $1,000, and millions of seniors who qualify for it are either receiving less than they should or not receiving it at all. If you are 65 or older and living in Canada, I need you to stop what you are doing and watch this entire video. Because there is a real chance that money you are legally entitled to, money the government is supposed to be sending you every single month, is either not coming or it is coming in an amount that is far lower than it should be. And I am not talking about a small difference. I am talking about hundreds of dollars a month, possibly more than 1,000. The frustrating part is that this is not some loophole or trick. This is a program that exists specifically for you. The system just makes it incredibly easy to miss or to lose without ever knowing why. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what to do. The Canadian benefit system is one of the most complicated in the world. There are federal programs, provincial top-ups, income thresholds, clawback rules, and renewal deadlines, all tangled together. The government does not send you reminders. Your bank does not tell you. Most financial advisors never bring it up because it is not their area. That is why so many people fall through the cracks. And when I tell you the exact dollar amounts involved, you are going to want to grab a pen. The program is called the Guaranteed Income Supplement. Most people know it as GIS. It is a monthly, non-taxable payment from the federal government, and it is specifically designed for low-income seniors who are already receiving old age security, which is also known as OAS. This is not a loan. It does not need to be repaid. It is yours if you qualify. Here's what the current numbers look like. If you are single and your annual income is below a certain threshold, around $22,000 when we exclude your OAS pension, you could be receiving up to $1,086 every single month on top of your OAS. If you are a couple and both of you receive OAS, each of you could receive up to $654 per month. These amounts are adjusted every quarter based on inflation, which means they are going up, not down. Now let me make this real for you. Think about a 68-year-old woman living in Manitoba. She worked most of her adult life in part-time and seasonal jobs. She receives about $800 a month from CPP, and her OAS just started. Her total annual income is under $19,000. She qualifies for close to $900 a month in GIS, but nobody told her she had to renew her eligibility every year by filing her taxes. So her payments stopped. She spent 3 months thinking she had done something wrong, calling the wrong numbers, getting bounced around. She was owed that money the whole time. That situation is not rare. It happens constantly across every province to people who did everything right and still got cut off because of a detail nobody explained to them. But here is where most people make the mistake that ends up costing them thousands of dollars. And it is a mistake that is shockingly easy to make. The biggest reason seniors lose their GIS, or never receive the full amount, comes down to one thing: the annual tax return. GIS is income tested, which means the government recalculates your eligibility every single year based on your previous year's income. And the way they get that income information is through your tax return filed with the Canada Revenue Agency, the CRA. If you do not file your taxes by April 30th, or if your return is processed late, your GIS payments can be reduced or stopped completely, even if your income has not changed at all. The government does not send you a warning letter first. The payment simply stops or gets reduced in July, which is when the new benefit year begins. And here is the painful part. Retroactive payments are not always guaranteed. Depending on the situation, you could lose months of income that you will never get back. Now think about what that actually means. At the maximum single rate of $1,086 per month, Missing 3 months of GIS because of a late tax filing means losing over $3,200. Over a full year, the maximum GIS for a single senior is more than $13,000. $13,000 that is supposed to be supplementing your grocery bills, your medication, your heat in winter. That is not a small administrative error. That is a life-changing amount of money for someone living on a fixed income. There is a second mistake that is just as common. Many seniors assume that because they have little or no income, maybe they stopped working years ago, they do not need to file a tax return. That is wrong. Even if you owe nothing and earned nothing taxable, you still need to file. The CRA uses your filed return to confirm your income level and keep your GIS active. No file, no payment. It is that simple. And yet nobody puts this in plain language anywhere that seniors can easily find. The good news is this is completely fixable. And if your payments have already been affected, there are steps you can take right now to get back on track. Here is exactly what you need to do, step by step. First, confirm whether you are actually eligible for GIS. To qualify, you need to be 65 or older. You need to be receiving OAS, and your annual income needs to be below the current threshold, which for a single senior in 2026 is around $22,400, not counting your OAS pension itself. If you are not sure about your income level, call Service Canada directly at 1-800-277-9914. They can look up your file and tell you right away whether you are eligible and what your current payment status is. Second, make sure your tax return is filed and up to date. If you have not filed for 2024 or any recent year, do it now. You can do this for free using the CRA's free tax filing programs, including services offered through community organizations across Canada called Community Volunteer Income Tax Program, CVITP for short. They will file your return at no cost and make sure everything is submitted correctly. To find a location near you, go to canada.ca and search for free tax help. Third, if you believe your GIS was stopped or reduced incorrectly, you have the right to request a review. When you call Service Canada, ask specifically about a benefit review or a reconsideration request. Have your social insurance number ready, along with any recent tax documents and your notice of assessment from the CRA. Be clear about the dates when your payments changed and ask them to trace the issue. Many seniors get their payments reinstated, sometimes with retroactive amounts, simply by making this call. Fourth, if you recently had a significant drop in income, for example, you stopped working, your spouse passed away, or your pension income changed, you can actually apply to have your GIS recalculated based on your current year's income rather than waiting for last year's tax return to be processed. This is called an estimated income application, and it can increase your GIS immediately rather than making you wait months. Before I let you go, there is one more thing that most people completely overlook, and it can actually add even more money to what you are already receiving. If you receive GIS, you may also be eligible for what are called provincial top-ups, extra payments that your provincial government adds on top of what you get from the federal GIS. These programs go by different names depending on where you live. In Ontario, it is called GAINS, the Guaranteed Annual Income System, and it can add up to $90 a month. In British Columbia, there is the Seniors Supplement. Alberta has its own Seniors Benefit Program. Quebec, Nova Scotia, and other provinces have similar programs. None of these require a separate application in most cases. They are automatically triggered once your GIS is active and your provincial tax return is filed. But if you moved between provinces recently, or if there was a gap in your GIS payments, the provincial top-up may have also stopped. When you call Service Canada, always ask them to confirm whether your provincial supplement is active as well. One phone call can unlock multiple income streams at once. You just received information that most Canadians over 65 never get. Not from their bank, not from their accountant, and not from the government itself. GIS exists to make sure that seniors in this country are not left behind financially. But the system only works if you know how to work the system. So do not wait on this. Not next week. Today. Call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914 or go to canada.ca and search for Guaranteed Income Supplement. Check your eligibility. Check that your tax return is filed. And if something is wrong, ask for a review. You worked your whole life to build a future in this country. This money is part of what that future is supposed to look like. Do not leave it sitting unclaimed. If you want to know about the other benefits most Canadians over 60 are missing, and there are more than you think, subscribe. I cover one every single week in plain language, so you always know exactly where you stand.